Okay, I'm gonna make a quick video about what I see as the two types of libertarians. When it comes to politics, I think I most closely associate with libertarianism for a whole host of reasons that I'm not gonna get into. But from what I can see, there are basically two types of libertarians. I'm going to call them Richard Hanania libertarians and Andrew Tate libertarians. Now, Richard Hanania, if you don't know, he is a Palestinian American, I guess, Republican thinker. He's not really right wing, I guess. He's more Republican. He used to be a lot more like radical, like he used to be into race and IQ and like white nationalist stuff, which is strange because he's a Palestinian. I mean, he used to be into that kind of stuff. And no, I mean nothing against him. He was young. He was like in his 20s, and now he's like 40. We all evolve, but you can tell he still holds a lot of those views secretly, but it doesn't matter. I'm not gonna hold it like people's political views against them. But anyway, he's rather elitist, and his libertarianism, what's most fascinating about these types of libertarians, these like elitist libertarians, is that they are only libertarian in theory, not in practice. They imagine this libertarian society where like everyone is like a philosopher kind of. All they have is theory. All they do is theorize and talk. And we talk about how great the free market is and stuff. But if you notice, they're not very active in it. They're more active in like academics. They talk about how great materialism is and free market is and all that stuff, but they don't engage in it. It's almost like they do not experience the world, they observe it from the outside. And these types of libertarians, I notice, are very prone to adopting or being influenced by authoritarianism, like authoritarian views. Because I think fundamentally their philosophy, their ideology and worldview is rooted in like a reactionary middle class consciousness. They were raised in middle class homes, and they have this idealized view of what like it means to be rich and powerful. And this causes them, it's rooted, it's like they have an inferiority complex. And in order to deal with this inferiority complex of being like born in the middle class but aspiring to be like this great libertarian like oligarch, they suppress their inferiority complex, and they try to present themselves as like superior to everyone else. And like I said, these types of libertarians are very prone to like authoritarian views. I would put people like Leather Apron Club into this type of view. Nick Fuentes is like in this type of group. And they tend to look down on minority groups. And they tend to look down fundamentally, they tend to look down and they tend to look down on people who do not, the irony is they look down on people who do not conform to like social norms, although they profess to be libertarians. Fundamentally, they cannot transcend middle class Christian morality. They cannot envision a world divorced from the middle class Christian morality that we've been accustomed to for most of the country's history. And by the country, I mean American. You can probably tell by my accent by now. But anyway, the second type of libertarian is what I would call the Andrew Tate libertarian. I think that Andrew Tate is a fascinating character. I think he is probably the most true libertarian out of all the libertarians. He actually like lives out his libertarianism. He has a harem, he has all these fast cars, he has all of his money. He's very outspoken, he's very independent minded. He's focused on physical fitness and physical health. He's a kickboxer. He's always traveling. He doesn't like to read. I'm not saying reading's a bad thing. I mean, He doesn't like to read because he's a person who fundamentally prioritizes math and science over ideology and philosophy. He prioritizes action over theory. And this is fascinating because the libertarians who prioritize action are the least authoritarian and like prone to authoritarianism and fascism. And the libertarians who prioritize theory are those who are more prone to authoritarianism and fascism. And I think that fundamentally it's rooted in the fact that people who are physically active and healthy and fit like Andrew Tate and have all this power and wealth around them, they don't have this innate drive to dominate other people. Whereas people who theorize and read books and are very like indoors and like divorced from the outside world, they have this almost like this subconscious desire to dominate people, to impose their will on people, to impose like this abstract theory on the world. This abstract theory that has mostly nothing to do with reality. But with that being said, I would say that libertarian like ideology and philosophy it's the ideology that has the closest to do with reality out of all the ideologies, which is why I would say I'm most attracted to it. But anyway, this is my quick like recap on the two types of libertarians. I want to know, if anyone's watching this video, what you think about what I'm saying. And overall, I think that I prefer the Andrew Tate libertarian over the Richard Hanania libertarian. If not simply for the fact that they actually live out their beliefs. They actually, they're sincere and they're very consistent with their worldview.